speaking of Fox News, I have an interesting Media Matters piece here to take a look at with you that notes in the last week, Fox News has talked about DeSantis more than they've talked about Trump for the first time this year. That's happened. And the reason why this is notable is we're watching as Fox News tries to serve DeSantis as the better option to their audience in kind of subtle ways, not so subtle in many cases. And we'll look at some examples of this in a second, but still trying to appear pro-Trump for the most part on air, because as we know, the Dominion lawsuit has very much highlighted they prioritize saying what their viewers want to hear over what they actually believe. Tucker Carlson saying he hates Trump passionately and believes he's a demonic force and a destroyer and all that, not saying that on air. But if they really want Trump to be gone and DeSantis to be the guy, they have to do that in, for example, how much they cover one versus the other. So we'll look at this and then some examples of this type of coverage. So for the first time this year, Fox News from Media Matters invoked Florida Governor Ron DeSantis more times than former president and candidate for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, Donald Trump. Fox personalities and guests had mentioned Trump more often every week since January 1st until last week when they mentioned DeSantis at least 177 times to Trump's at least 142, which could signal that the network is shifting its focus to the Florida governor. For the first 10 weeks of 2023, Fox News had mentioned Trump at least 1,571 times, and DeSantis, who has been flirting with a 2024 presidential run in recent weeks, at least 791 times. Fox News mentions of Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis. You can see a chart here for our video viewers. And right here, for the first time on this chart, DeSantis gets mentioned more. And it is interesting, especially because Trump, just in a somewhat objective-ish way, is a more notable figure right now, a more talk-aboutable figure when it comes to politics, because he's running for president, and DeSantis is just a governor of a state who's also being speculated a lot, of course, for running for president. But for them to really lean into DeSantis as the guy shows they want him, but they have to do it through nice, fawning coverage, maybe ignoring some things with Trump, but not overtly saying something that makes that view clear. So as a reminder, here's just a little bit of the beginning of a trailer for a Fox Nation special or something like that they did about Ron DeSantis. Who is Ron DeSantis?
Who is Ron DeSantis? Nobody doubts the governor of the Sunshine State is smart. Nobody doubts he is confident. And nobody doubts that he is driven. But his biggest detractors call him a power-hungry ideologue, while his biggest fans, though, think he's the only hope for a nation gone completely off the rails. So, who is Ron DeSantis?
Two bad things that you have to work against when you're going against Governor DeSantis. Number one is his superior intellect. He has a brain that just few people have. And then the second thing...
Okay. And then also recently, Brian Kilmeade, who seems to be the DeSantis guy, was tossing the ball with the DeSantis.
If not this time to run for president, would you think at some time it's safe to say that would be one of your goals?
I would only do stuff if I thought there was a rationale for me to accomplish things on behalf of the people. So it's all substance driven about whether I could serve or not serve in a variety of capacities. But I'll tell you, as governor, and if you're a determined executive, you can make things happen, and we've done that in Florida.
When can we expect the big announcement?
Depends how good we do in this legislative session.
All right. Thanks, Governor.
So, I mean, that's pretty clear. That's the type of coverage we've seen them doing for Trump for years now, and now they're giving it to DeSantis, who is clearly the person Trump is obsessed with and hates and does not want to challenge him, and seems afraid of based on how often he's talking about DeSantis and criticizing DeSantis. And as I've said before, both Trump and DeSantis are incredibly dangerous figures, would be horrible presidents. But I do want DeSantis to get in the race just so the primary gets messy. And I think there's a better chance of the GOP going in to the general weekend if there's a really messy, absurd, bonkers GOP primary where Trump is just going berserk when it comes to DeSantis, challenging him, as we've already kind of seen an indication of in recent weeks and months. But interesting stuff. Fox News trying to help DeSantis, but leaving their options open in case Trump is the guy. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before all the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get the full bonus show every single Saturday, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley. Link in the description.